physically seen what happens. I know how horrific it is. But it is only when other people see is when they will realize that they would have to partner with you in drumming for support in the fight and the struggle against it. So you may not hear or see anybody writing against FGM here, or even the national media, because it appears as if the FGM is to the Sabine and the Kalamajang, and that is only to the 5 districts where the practice is held. When our brothers are affected, we're also equally affected. Maybe that's where my son would have gotten a wife. Maybe that's where my next place of abode is. I would want to shift there and grow Irish. But I fear for my children, perhaps. So it is until we have worked towards supporting them out of that practice is when we shall all be free as women in this country. As we embark on the implementation of Phase 4 to end FGM, we run from 2022 to 2030. I wish to note that we need to refocus and accelerate the approach that worked well in the previous phase and facilitate community-based and community-owned approaches, including building consensus on the transformation and alternative rite of passage for girls from girls to womanhood in the FGM practicing communities that can be adopted instead of FGM. I wish to emphasize that we need to mobilize all key stakeholders involved in the implementing, including political leaders at all levels, religious leaders and cultural leaders. We need to ensure that they are actively involved in the key decision-making of elimination of FGM in their respective communities. The leadership at various levels will play a critical role in mobilizing communities for mindset change, mobilizing resources, setting the pace for transformation, social and gender norms to end FGM. Our brother stood here, one of the cultural leaders, and told us, you know, we marry many women. And so there are these other co-wives that laugh at the ones who are unmutilated. So that gives me a feeling that by the time this man gets another woman who is unmutilated, is after he has realized that the mutilation is not satisfying his problems. So he has gone for a new one who is not mutilated. So the other ones, out of jealousy, begin unmutilated, and you're also not mutilated, so you live together for a long time and enjoy yourselves forever. So I wish to think that we need to stronger engagements at the local level and have mechanisms locally grained and developed by the local people to see how we come to the end of this vice. I wish to note that government will remain committed towards achieving the goals to eliminate female genital mutilation by 2030. We have already had a commitment from Parliament that was delivered by the Committee of Gender, and they have been really supportive. In the last, at least this term of office, they have supported the Ministry of Gender to get some more resources, focusing towards supporting some of these vices, including gender-based violence, through the women councils. I call upon all actors, state and non-state actors, to join in the campaign to end female genital mutilation by 2030. And this is in line with the Global Sustainable Development Goal 5, Target 5.3, to eliminate harmful practices. Where harmful, I thank you.
Hold on. May I take this honor to invite the table of the Honorable Minister, all the guests on the table, to please join her here for the symbolic launch of Phase 4. Yeah. And Madam Commissioner, please join the Honorable Minister as we symbolically launch Phase 4. It's going to be performed on the screen. The Honorable Minister will take us through stages. Each time she points at the screen, there will be a stage that is shown on the screen with some text that will be read out until we reach Phase 4. It will be sort of a chronology of where we have come from. Okay, can we start now? Honorable Member of Parliament. Very good. Honorable, thank you so much. That was it for the launch of Phase 4. Thank you for taking us through from the first day to now, and then launching us into what is going to happen in Phase 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you so much for being here for this opportunity. Honorable Minister, it's now time for some few photographs to be taken. And may I request that we remove the podium so we can take the shots here. So the stage team, please run pretty fast, because after the photo opportunity, the team will be moving down for lunch, which is already set at the restaurant. As they remove the podium, as the podium is removed, allow me extend special thanks to everyone that has participated to ensure that. I'd like to thank UNFPA, thank BRAC. I'd like to thank all the other teams, and of course the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, the Commissioner here, the Honourable Minister, for leading this preparation and ensuring that this is done. Annette Kabarunji, Head of the UNFPA Joint Program, thank you so much for the effort you have put in. The gender team, thank you so much. Christine, Susan, the culture team, Ruth, and everyone else. Thank you so much for all the effort you've put into this. BRAC Uganda, I saw the acting country director here with us. You're most welcome. Thank you so much for supporting this organization. I'd like to thank you for the partnership always. And of course, Action Aid there, thank you so much. The UNFPA team, Grace, Rachel, Harriet, and everyone else. Really, thank you so much. UNICEF, Irene is here, Miriam is there. You've done a brilliant job. Thank you. And of course, the other teams that have put up the brilliant show here have been working with you to ensure this is done. We can't thank you more than that. Honourable Minister, photo opportunity, again with the guests that you're with on the high table. First, your opportunity here. And I'll request the LC5s to come and join the Honourable Minister here. The RDCs, LC5s, RDCs, please come and join the Honourable Minister and the guests here for the photo opportunity. And the leaders of the elders, please come. Religious leaders as well, please come join the Honourable Minister and the team for the photo opportunity here. Yes. I'll call the next group after this. Yes. Are we ready? Photography team, are we ready? Taking shots. 1, 2, 3, shots. One more. 1, 2, 3, shot. Just one more. 1, 2, 3, shot. Thank you so much. May we have the next group? All the district representatives, please now. All those that were not here. District representatives, please come and join. Honorable Minister, please stay. All the district representatives, if you're from the district, please come and have a photo with all district teams, CSOs, please join the Honorable Minister. Okay, are we ready? All the dignitaries, please, you're going to go with the Honorable Minister. Please don't leave. Mr. Phil, please don't leave. I'd like you to leave together with the Honorable Minister. Please. Please, kindly. Okay. Shots. 1, 2, 3, shots. 1, 2, 3, shots. Is there any other team? Ministry team, please come. Pretty fast, pretty fast. Ministry team. This is the last one. And partners, UNICEF, UNFPA, please come and join. Come and join this. Yes. This is the last shot. This is the last shot as the minister joins the other dignitaries to go for lunch. Okay, we are taking now. We take at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Feel free to take another one, one last one. Very good, that's done. No, that's it. Women's Council, please let it be the last. The symbol for end FGM, this. Yeah, okay, we are counting 1, 2, 3, then you do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. May I request the Honorable Minister to join her team, and they are led to where lunch has been set. Harriet, please come here. Harriet. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for all the arrangements. Thank you for turning up. Yes. Outside. Hold on. Special announcement. Please, let's ensure that we have registered with BRAC. Your mobile money number, that's where the facilitation will be sent. So there is a team managing that at the entrance. Please follow her and make sure you are registered for that. Thank you. Continue.
To FGM. It has been an amazing day with key highlights and of course the launch of Phase 4 officially by the Minister of State for Gender and Culture, the Honorable Peace Mutuzo. It has been a very interesting discussion, of course, conversations and discussions from CSOs, from different stakeholders, government officials, key partners and funders in making sure these activities garner towards advocacy and activism in ending female genital mutilation continue to happen. Thank you so much for everyone that has been part of this discussion online with the official hashtag as Men and FGM. This year's theme has been partnering with men and boys in making sure they transform social and gender norms and ending female genital mutilation. We have a couple of people, we want to find out what the highlights have been during this whole time and what the experience has been. You could also join this conversation online. Let us know where you're listening in from, where you were watching from, and what you think about this amazing day. Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's your name?
I'm called Apofia Mgoye.
Apofia. Thank you so much for joining us on set. I just wanted to find out from you what the highlight for you was today.
Definitely, I was so excited. Being the organizer, I saw the men that we wanted to really push this mission on board. I'm excited, and they are really willing to support us to see that we don't have, or we eliminate FGM among the young girls and women. I'm excited. Yes.
There was a poem by a young man. Tell me what feelings that evoked.
Definitely, it was so emotional. Seeing a young man actually speaking what we're supposed to do as government partners, CSOs. Now I think it's a challenge to us to see that whatever this young man has talked about, we put to use, we put to real implementation. And it's a challenge to us, both the government and non-government.
Interesting. Perhaps for the last message, what would be your call to action be for everyone involved in this particular campaign?
I think one is we need to make sure, we need to really bring all stakeholders on board, because we see that men and boys are the drivers of FGM. Bring them on board, have a dialogue, and get to mobilize them and make them aware on the repercussions or on the negative impact of FGM, both on their girls and also not those who are not specifically their girls. Yes, so basically we need to bring all stakeholders on board and we have a roundtable discussion. Yes.
Thank you so much, Porfia, giving us what her highlight was and exactly what feelings and the call to action for different stakeholders. In case you're just joining us, well, it has been an amazing, amazing day. And of course, we are joining the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. It has been amazing. Phase 4 is officially open. And of course, that was by the Honorable State Minister for Culture and Gender, making sure that we move on to yet another milestone. So many people were present. We had cultural heads, we had religious stakeholders, we had partners from UNICEF, from UNFPA, and of course, Spotlight Initiative. I'm joined by another beautiful lady. How are you doing? How are you doing? All right, just, yes, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, doing great.
I love the purple.
Thank you so much.
Yes, just wanted to find out what the highlight was from this event for you.
So for me, the highlight was, first of all, the engagement of men, but also the stories that were shared around girls who are running away from homes because home is no longer safe, and ensuring that they are boarding schools so that they can be in a safe space. So I think it's very vital that men are involved to end FGM. This is my take home, and I think it's something that we can work together with the different partnerships, the different stakeholders, to see that we end FGM. Because we have known that we have gotten some progress, but if we involve men the more, then we can end FGM. And I'm hoping to work together so that this can go off.
Working together is clearly very important, and that was a highlight. What would be your call to action especially for men and boys moving forward?
I think as a call to action, first of all, we need to support the girls and the women. The men should support, but also we reduce instances of early marriage so that the girls can be safe and so that they can achieve their dreams. Let's see them as our sisters, as our mothers, so that the first priority is school, education. And so when they access education, and then they can also be a future that we look at. So if men are like brothers, uncles, and fathers, we can reduce and stop FGM.
Very interesting insights. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and we can't wait to see what fruitful deliberations will continue to happen. In case you had joined us, we are glad that this has officially been launched. We are in phase 4 officially, and that is an interesting one because 3 different phases came before that, and of course we registered major milestones in making sure we end female genital mutilation by 2030. Thank you so much to our online audience that has kept up with the discussion and the engagement. From the team right here, thank you so much. And of course, I am very, very, very excited that we are at this particular time. People are moving out for lunch, but wait a minute. There is a partner right here that we would love to find out. Yes, Mariam, I'm super excited that you're joining me. I was looking for you pretty much the whole day. After our discussion yesterday, you know, this has finally happened. I wanted to find out from you, how do you feel that finally phase 4 has been launched?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so excited that finally we're taking off. on the implementation of Phase 4. And then from the turnout today, from the high-level commitment that we have received from the government, from donor partners, from government at national and subnational level, including traditional and religious leaders, including the young men, the boys themselves. So we're so excited and happy that we're on the right footing to starting a collective action that will result in delivering the promise. And the promise is to end female genital mutilation in Uganda by 2030.
Female genital mutilation out of Uganda by 2030. You had every stakeholder in this very place. How do we move forward? Because we all know that, declarations are made. How are we making sure we're holding all the different stakeholders accountable in making sure this happens?
Thank you very much. The good news is that implementation of the global program, the joint UNFPA-UNICEF program to end female genital mutilation, is well coordinated under the leadership of the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. And you see how well they participated and led the event of today with the Honorable Minister herself making very good declaration. We have a joint work plan. We have multi-sectoral task force that come together regularly to plan on implementation of the joint work plan. So after this meeting, the next thing will be for these multi-sectoral stakeholders to come together, and then we're up to implementation.
We're up to implementation, Mariam. Congratulations. I think it's safe to say we are finally up and ready for the flight to take off. Maybe your last key takeaway from today's event.
Thank you very much. From today's event, it is obvious that the participation, partnering with men and boys is key. And like I've said before, they have the key.
Yes.
They have the key to eliminating female genital mutilation. And we see that they are committed as well. Mm-hmm. So we will work together, we will partner together to ensure that we get the last leg of this journey completed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and that is Mariam. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. I hope you have had a great time at this year's event. We officially launched Phase 4, and we joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. From us and the team here, it's been amazing. Till next time, bye-bye.
joins the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. I am here in Kampala. My name is Tracy and I am at the UNFP offices to find out what's up for this year. This year's theme is partnering with men and boys to transform gender and social norms to end female genital mutilation. I am at the iCafe and I'm joined by a hot team of different technocrats that will be telling us exactly what will be happening this time around. I'm joined by Mariam, Wilberforce, and of course Rachel. Hi Mariam, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Maybe you should introduce yourself for our audience.
Thank you very much. My name is Mariam Enyazu. I'm a child protection specialist and I work for UNICEF. Thank you.
Mariam, nice to have you with us. Wilberforce will be doing the same, and so will Rachel.
Thank you. My name is Wilberforce Mugwanya. I work with UNFPA and I'm program coordinator on programming.
Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Rachel Gola. I work with UNFPA as a gender and human rights specialist.
Thank you guys for joining me on set. I am excited. Let's just start right there. I'll start with you, Mariam. Uganda implemented the program, the joint program, since 2008. I am going to ask specifically the achievements of phase 3. I am excited because these usher us into phase 4. What are some of those highlights that stood out for you?
Thank you very much, Tracy. We are also very excited in the implementation of the phase 3 of the UNFPA-UNICEF joint program on the elimination of FGM. Uganda as a country made major milestones in addressing the issues of female genital mutilation. Mind you, phase 3 built on the lessons, the achievements, and the challenges of phase 1 and phase 2, focusing on issues around policy and legislation, access to services, changing social norms, and as well as building the life skill, the livelihood opportunities, and economic empowerment of women and girls. Key achievement for Uganda was the leadership role they played in coordinating the regional response on FGM. Uganda played a very key role in convening cross-border collaboration on FGM that involved 5 countries: Kenya, Somalia, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and one other country, but 5 countries in the East African region came together, developed an action plan that is currently being implemented. And that is a very big milestone that Uganda achieved as a result of the leadership role they played in the regional and the country FGM elimination program.
Very commendable highlight right there. Rachel, I'll just jump right to the next one. We've spoken about the highlights of phase 3. I want you to just draw for us the picture and forecast of phase 4 and what that looks like in making sure we end FGM by 2030.
Yeah, the global program on elimination of FGM is implemented by 17 countries. And Uganda is just one of the 17 countries. And this is a program that has been implemented for decades, over 10 years. So we have a number of lessons that we have learned, strategies on what is working, not only in Uganda, but also globally. So looking forward, we want to accelerate these best practices, these strategies that are working. And, Mariam talked about livelihood, building capacity of communities so then they can be able to, mobilize each other, create awareness on shifting the norms. So we've seen also work with cultural and religious leaders really playing a key role in shifting these norms. And so these are some of the things that we really want to move forward with as we go to, the second phase. Another thing that is really important is about data. You realize for the last many years that we've worked, we cannot account for how many of the female genital cases, mutilation cases that have been averted as a result of the interventions. So we really look forward to investing really so much on data, and we do really a number of assessments before we start this program to know where we are, and then we are able to account for where we will be coming forward. And we're also looking forward to mobilize stakeholders, partners, donors to join us, because this thing, it needs really a team. We cannot work around it on UNICEF and UNFPA alone. Yeah, thank you.
Rachel spoke about teams, and it takes me back to this year's theme. And we were saying partnering with men and boys in making sure we transform social and gender norms to end FGM, which brings me to my next question for you, Wilberforce. How do we make sure that we have more men and boys as part of the action force, as part of people that will make sure this transformation happens? What needs to be done, honestly, to have more men and boys as part of this team?
Thank you very much. Men in societies, especially in the African context and in Uganda in particular, are the leaders of their homes, they are heads of the households. They occupy that high space within the cultural environment and also religious environment. So men tend to also define and prescribe, be responsible for a lot of prescriptions within the culture and religious practices. So men have a big role to play in actually ending female genital mutilation and cutting. One is men need to be engaged to support the reporting mechanism, so that they can report FGM cases when they happen, or even activities that can actually lead into or are leading into FGM, so they can stop the FGM from actually happening. Men also are fathers. These daughters are fathered by men, and they are brothers to these girls who are cut or who suffer female genital mutilation. They are brothers. So men need to come in now and protect and defend these girls and to have safe spaces within the communities where they stay. The men can also engage into now transforming the cultural practices or the cultural environment to take away FGM, which is a human rights violation within the society. So men have that big responsibility and role to also come in and communicate to the rest of the communities where they actually stay, that actually FGM is not a nice thing to do. And also men are the ones who actually marry the girls who suffer from FGM and so on. So, and it's also known that the girls, once they suffer FGM, that leads them into marriage, or it's actually one of the best ways, one of the common ways that they are heading into maturity, into marriage and so on. So the men need to now denounce this and actually stop the perception and appreciation that FGM is one way to get a person married. So men have a big responsibility to play, and we actually need to engage them as heads of the household, as heads of the communities where we stay, so that they can protect these girls, they can report FGM when it happens, they support their sisters and daughters, but also do denouncement or denounce FGM within their communities, and also mobilize other people within the communities to actually stop FGM. So they need to be gatekeepers of the girls and also to stop the vice. Thank you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. In case you are joining us online, make sure you follow the conversation. The official hashtag this year is Men and FGM. Continue the conversation in the comment section. For now, I'd love to call another panelist to join us. And of course, right from the government, we have the PRO, Mr. Frank, all the way from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, to help us understand what policies and what the role of government is in making sure we end FGM.
Frank Mugabe is my name, and I'm the head of communications at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.
There we have it, Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. And of course, it's very prudent that we understand what the stand of the government is when it comes to FGM, so that we know the context, but also we wanted to find out the role that government is playing in making sure this is achieved by 2030.
That's right. Thank you so much. Government plays a key role, and as a ministry, we are the lead agency on the government side in the joint program to eliminate FGM in Uganda. And we are lucky that we've been working with very good partners like UNICEF here and UNFPA in this programming, and their support has been key. The commitment of the government of Uganda is unreserved in ensuring that we eliminate FGM. We understand fully that FGM is embedded in the cultural practices, social norms in some societies within Uganda. And if you're dealing with such issues, it takes time to have a change, impactful change. But if the government is at the lead, then it adds on value and impetus to the efforts that all partners bring.